Let's talk about love. It's not always the easiest topic to open up about, especially for men. Men can struggle with expressing their feelings and communicating with their partner. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Erin LeBeau.
And I'm Tamsin Fidel. One author takes from his own experiences and uses them to help other men who may be struggling to express what they really want out of a relationship. Bernardo Moya's latest book, Man Evolving, is out now, and he's joining us to talk more about it this afternoon. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, in your book, you share your journey as a married man and how for part of it you felt like you were living a lie. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, I was living a lie. I mean, towards the last 10 years of my marriage, I wasn't happy. And apart from not being happy, I unfortunately cheated on my wife. And it wasn't something that made me feel good. And I felt to a degree that obviously I let her down and let my family down to a degree. And I published this book with this intention of obviously expressing my feelings, my regrets, and kind of what we do. And I feel that and not only men, you know, women cheat too, but I feel that we have a sense of responsibility of obviously owning up, being able to communicate better, express ourselves, whatever it might be, you know, that will probably cause less pain than, you know, other relationship have, you know, when they've gone through the same situations that I have.
Okay, so speaking of your book, you say that you hope this book helps men share their feelings. So why do you think men are afraid or to talk about love and their feelings?
Well, obviously, it's a fact, you know, men, we don't express our feelings. We tend to bottle it in. I mean, male suicide is one of the biggest killers. It definitely is in the UK, and I know in the US as well. And I've had lots of friends and that, you know, people that I work with within the industry, and it's just a subject that we choose to ignore. And for me, expressing it and writing is something that I do comfortably. And sometimes, listen, we might struggle to say the words, but it's easy to write something down. It's easy to say something. And, you know, love comes in so many different types of shapes and forms, you know, a kind word, something that you can say that can bring someone's spirit up. So the whole idea, the intention about this is to question the different phases, because the whole book is covering falling in love, falling out of love, relationships, and all sorts of things.
All right. So, what ways can couples better communicate? The weekend is upon us, so always never too late to kind of start over again. So, what advice do you give to couples if they say, "Look, we're going to focus on our communication this weekend"?
Well, I think so. And I think, you know, kind of it has to be an open, completely true and honest conversation. You know, I love a lot of relationships now where this whole idea of marriage forever, is that a reality now? I think, you know, maybe just simply, even if you do decide to marry and you're hoping it's forever, maybe you just establish vows every year. So you're committed and there's a lot of communication. So before the renewal agreement comes up, you know, hopefully you can decide that you're happy and you want to move on and you want to continue there.
So maybe instead of happily ever after, just setting small goals, happily every year.
Happily get through the weekend.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There's so much to that. I think, you know, but it's all part of the process of, I think, you know, obviously relationships have changed now. I'm from an older generation where you were forever. But, you know, a lot of relationships now, you know, they don't tend to last long. But I think it is part of the process of not discussing. Maybe they want a different relationship. Maybe they want an open relationship. I don't know. But there are things that need to be talked about.
All right. Bernardo Moya, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.